Ladies, did you know that your ability to live and feel authentically feminine is connected to your sexual power? Gentlemen, have you ever wondered what's behind those days when she seems to shine from within? If you answered yes to either of those questions, stay tuned for the O Spot with best-selling romance author Rachel Kenley, and get to the source of your power so you are living a life of greater connection and joy.
Good evening and welcome to the O Spot. I'm your host, Rachel Kenley. Today is Wednesday, June 8th. I can't believe it's June. I'm sorry I wasn't here with you last week, but other things called me away. And I also need to let you know that my computer is acting up and my internet is acting up. So if I disappear, I'm sorry. I will miss you. I promise I'll have it fixed by next week because, you know, this is just a pain in the patootie. So today my mind is really, really focused on my son's bar mitzvah, which is this weekend, this Saturday. Very exciting, like 70 people coming. He's excited, and he can't believe soon it'll actually be over. He's been practicing and preparing for this for 6 months, which is pretty typical for bar mitzvah study. Well, it's needless to say, it's kind of gotten like all our attention and all our time and all our everything. Not too surprising. But it's exciting. He's my youngest. I still remember mine very clearly. And to watch him go through this and to go through it so differently in almost every way from his brother, who I helped kind of with everything with him. And with my younger son, he's independent differently. And I think it's in large part because having everybody older in the house, he kind of misses the chance to, like, not so much do things first, but not have people comment. I mean, he has 2 parents and a brother who sometimes acts like a parent. So I think that's a real challenge. And it's not one I understand because I'm the older child. My brother would get this. He was the only younger in the house because my parents are both olders. But my husband's an older, and my older son's an older, obviously, and I'm an older. So he definitely was different. He did this differently than my older son did, and he did it more independently. With my older son, I could have told you like every word of everything he did because I studied with him. And for my younger, he's really doing it on his own. He really learned all of it. I can't recite it with him or anything like that. I just heard part of it for the first time today. And it sounds great, actually. I'm really proud of him. But it's really kind of funny to me that it was all so different, so very different. So what's also on my mind is a little bit of about me. I didn't lose all the weight I wanted to. And so although I'm happy with how I'm going to look and the dress I've picked out, there's a part of me that's just like, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I didn't do that. And so that's running through my head. And the other thing is I have to get my hair cut tomorrow. And I'm still not sure I'm taking like a whole bunch of inches off. It's really long right now. It's like down to the top of my bra strap in the back strap. And every time I put my giant shoulder bag on my shoulder, it like gets cut off. It not gets cut off. It gets like trapped. I'm like perpetually yanking my hair, and my hair's been thinning as is. So, I don't need any more help pulling the darn thing out. So, I'm really actually going to cut it back up to my shoulders, which is a really good length for me usually. And I'm hopeful that this I'm going to a new hairdresser. I'm really hopeful that she'll be good. So I'm nervous and kind of excited and nervous and kind of excited. Once this is done, June means that the year is almost half over, which I'm sure, actually, I know I don't really want to think about right now. And then I'm really going to get a chance to kind of focus a little differently. I'm going to get a chance to focus on me in a very different way. I'm going to really be focusing on my business. My business partner and I are doing some amazing things for the Writers Business School, which is so exciting. And then my writing and my health. I really want to do things differently. And I want to get, more than doing things differently, I want to get to the root of why I haven't done things differently. You guys get that, right? That we make these goals and we have these dreams and there's things we want. And then for some reason, it doesn't happen and we don't always know why. And I want to know why. I want to know what's at the bottom while I'm trying to take really, really, really good care of myself. So that's kind of my goal. And I'm hopeful. Does that make sense? I've found a lot of great books and I found a lot of great possibilities and ways to, I know you're hearing this clicking and I'm sorry, ways to make things work. So we'll see. As I said, I'm hopeful. I want to read you something by a woman I met years ago at the International Women's Writers Guild conference. Her name is Jan Phillips, and she is a fantastic writer. But she wrote this piece. It's called The Real Woman's Creed, and I want to read it to all of you. I believe that within me lies an extraordinary radiance, and I commit to letting my light loose in the world. I believe that the source of my power and wisdom is in the center of my being, and I commit to acting from this place of strength. I believe the time has come to let go of old notions and unhealthy attitudes, and I commit to re-examine what I have been told about beauty and dismiss what insults my soul. I believe that negative thoughts and words compromise my well-being, and I commit to thinking and speaking positively about myself and others. I believe that young women are in need of positive role models, and I commit to being an example of authenticity and self-love. I believe in my relationship between my well-being and the well-being of the planet, and I commit to a life of mindfulness that regards all living things as holy and worthy of my love. I believe in my spiritual responsibility to care for my body with respect, kindness, and compassion. I commit to balancing my life in such a way that my physical being is fully expressed and nurtured. I believe that joy is an essential part of wellness, and I commit to removing obstacles to joy and creating a life that is full of exuberance. I believe that a woman who loves herself is a powerful, passionate, attractive force, and I commit from this day forward to loving myself extravagantly. So that is The Real Woman's Creed by Jan Phillips. And if you would like a copy of that, please let me know. I have it on normal paper, but I have it printed in purple ink with some flowers. So just email me at rachelkenley@gmail.com or send me a message through Facebook. You can find me at Rachel Kenley or author Rachel Kenley. And I think the emotions are what's doing this, but all of a sudden my throat is scratchy and I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble kind of talking a bit. So, whew. When you feel emotional, when you say something or do something and your body responds, whether it's with a yawn, a sneeze, a cough. I noticed that my coughing started with, I believe in my relationship between my well-being and the well-being of the planet. Ugh, and I'm not sure what that says. I'm not sure how that... I'm not sure exactly what that's saying, but I know it's telling me something. And I guess on this list of things I commit to checking in with myself and kind of trying to figure out what that is. Whew, okay. I'm going to breathe for a second. Are you going to breathe with me? Okay. Great. So coming up on the first break soon, I think we're going to go through these kind of on a one-by-one basis, this Real Woman Creed, to talk about... Oops, I just closed my camera. The English language seems to be slightly at a loss for me today because of all the craziness. I don't know about any of you. Now, I sort of have some ADD. Most people do to some extent. I usually refer to it as ADS, attention deficit symptoms, because I don't have the disorder. It does not stop my life. I do not require medication. But I do have some of the symptoms. And the busier I am, the worse they get. So, for example, today I had my nails done for the big event. And they look like these fantastical opalescent mermaidy things. They go with one of the gems that are on my necklace that I'm wearing. And I was talking to her, kind of like I'm talking to you, and I looked at one of the nail polishes caught my eye, and so I'm talking, and oh my God, that's such a pretty color. I've got to wear that later this summer. And I said to her, sorry, my ADOS has kicked in. She said, ADOS? I'm like, yes, attention deficit. Ooh, shiny. So you're going to get that a little bit tonight, is me kind of bouncing all over the place and distracting myself and not knowing kind of what I want to say next. I mean, I do, but I don't. Right? Get it? Sort of? Yes. So I close my clock, which tells me really when my beautiful music is going to be coming back in, which, according to this, is in about 6 seconds. So come back for the next section of the O spot, which is our Oh No section. This, of course, is our Oh My section, which was more like a Oh What section today. But we'll see what happens next on the O spot with Rachel Kenley on OMTimes Radio.
Conscious media for conscious minds. OMTimes. Being a radio host on IOM-FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Eros Evolution is where sexuality and spirituality meets. Join me, clinical sexologist Martha Tara Lee, on Eros Evolution on Thursdays, 4 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio.
Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Hey ladies, do you want to have that good hair day feeling all the time? Gentlemen, would you want your special someone to have that glow, letting you know she's feeling completely satisfied? This feeling and that glow can be yours by embracing your sexual power. So join me, Rachel Kenley, award-winning romance author, on the O Spot. The O Spot will guide you to that peak with guest interviews, book discussions, and conversations on the thrills of sexual empowerment. Put the zing back in your life. Come up and see me sometime on the O Spot, live on Hump Day at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Bringing a more conscious lifestyle to your world. OMTimes Radio. IOM-FM.
And in case you didn't get enough of my beautiful music and my promo there, now you get to hear it again. Welcome back to the OSPOT. I'm your host, award-winning, best-selling romance author, Rachel Kenley. Yes, that's me. It's so funny to hear my own promo. I know I've said this to you guys before, but it really is. And what struck me today about it is how much I still truly believe. I shouldn't say how much I still believe, but how much I do really believe that your happiness in your connection and your ability to have all the things you want and deserve really is connected to your sexual power, your ability to live from this amazing, wonderful, unique place that is, some women call it a birthright, that we as women deserve to own and all of those great things. So yeah, I believe it. I do. I really believe it with my whole heart. And I thank you guys for always being here with me, to share it and be a part of it, because I personally think it's kind of spectacular. So there. All right. Well, on that happy note, so going through Jan's Real Woman Creed, and again, her name is Jan Phillips, which is with 2 L's, and feel free to look her up. She has this wonderful book called Marry Your Muse, and she's a phenomenal teacher, and lots of other things as well. So the first on her list is, I believe that within me lies an extraordinary radiance, and I commit to letting my light loose in the world. I believe that within me lies an extraordinary radiance, and I commit to letting my light loose in the world. This is our Oh No section, and I want to take time to mention that because the oh no is when we don't share our light, when we don't accept and embrace and love our extraordinary radiance, which, like the other things I mentioned, are, it's a birthright. It's, we're here on this earth for a reason, whatever that might be, and owning that and loving that and using that and embracing that it's wildly important. It's beyond. I mean, what a gift it needs to be for the world, for our daughters, for our daughters' daughters, for, oh my gosh, it's extraordinary. We live in some scary times. There's no two ways about it. And there are things happening in the world that I think frighten us all. And because of that, we really, the more we can embrace, just believe, it's 2 parts. It's first, I believe that within me lies an extraordinary radiance. And the oh no comes from the fact that we don't always believe that, which is horrible. We should believe it, and we need to believe it, and we deserve to believe it, and all those other great things. So, that's, to me, is first. That deserves to be first. And then after that comes committing to letting it loose in the world. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to let your light loose in the world until you believe in it. So first things first, ladies, believe that within you lies this extraordinary radiance. Because it does. It's outrageous. I mean, you've seen it in yourself, right? Please tell me you've seen it in yourself. You've certainly seen it in women, and I believe that if you can see it in others, it's because it's true in you. We don't see things in others that aren't true of ourselves. I honestly believe you can't. If when you see something beautiful in another person, you may not be ready to admit that it's true of you too. And I get that. I do. I really do. But hopefully you will understand that the reason you can see it is because it's in you. I know that sounds almost creepy the way I just said it, but it's true. It really is. You have to love that craziness, this extraordinary radiance is a part of you that is yours. It's your extraordinary radiance. It's different from everybody else's. It's going to have things that overlap, sure, and things that are similar, or you might recognize your radiance and your sister's radiance are similar, or you recognize an aspect of your mom in you, or whatever it is. But you brought this forth. You are here to extend this radiance. Yes, English is my first language. Into the world. So believe that it lies within you, and then commit to letting it loose in the world. Isn't that a lovely thought, actually? Think about it. All these women letting their radiance loose. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Really, doesn't that sound a little a little risque, a little wonderful, and a little scary possibly to the powers that be? We women can seem quite threatening. This is the reason for, all the dampening down of our sexual powers over the years and stuff like that. So, yeah, don't let this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Yeah, this is your little light, and it's not little, it's enormous, and you definitely want to let it shine. And I want you to let it shine. All right. Continuing in our Oh No section, I believe that the source of my power and wisdom is in the center of my being, and I commit to acting from this place of strength. So the source of your power and wisdom is at the center of your being. So that's the part you have to believe first. Which means that the source of your power and wisdom is not from your job, your boss, the books you've read, the people you've met, or the articles in the magazines that say, be this way, do this thing, whatever it might be. Your inner light comes from you, baby. It's you. It's all you. You don't have to wait or wonder where it's coming from or when it's going to get here. The source of your power and wisdom is at the center of your being. So what this is saying, what the oh no here is to me, is, Ingrid, you hear this one? You're gonna have to be willing to look at and accept yourself. You're gonna have to really be willing to look inside yourself and accept your wisdom. That it's not coming from somewhere else, ever. It's never going to come here from there. You're gonna have to find it within you, which is a great and wondrous thing, by the way. Don't panic about that. It's a good thing. It's just not a thing, listen to me. It's not something we are frequently taught, unfortunately. So that's the first change that we all want to make, or that I want you to make. And then you want to start looking at how you're going to act from that place of strength, not from some place you were told you should or must want or, need to be. Oh my God. How many, this is the oh no section, how many lies have we allowed ourselves to believe, whether it was something told by us by, the media and Madison Avenue and the other advertisers, or it was something we believed that an old quote-unquote friend told us, a friend who is not a friend. Maybe it was something an old boyfriend told you. I know for years there were things I believed about myself physically and sexually because of something my first serious boyfriend told me. And it took quite a fair amount of time, and fortunately some very wonderful men to come into my life and make me realize that these things weren't true. But I allowed them to be. I accepted them as truths over my own center, my own power and wisdom. And I'm sure a lot of you have done that, because we do. We just do. I wish we didn't. You wish we didn't, but we do. So starting there, think about the center of your being, that wisdom and that power that's in the center. Isn't that an incredible thought? It's yours. It's there. You know, it's Dorothy. You know, doesn't matter where you go or how far you travel. The source of your power and wisdom is coming with you. You cannot leave it behind. Well, you can ignore it. You can forget about it, and you can cover it up with a lot of the crap that's out there by believing it and letting that fill you, which is unfortunate and unnecessary, hopefully. But you take it with you, and it can and should be extraordinary. So, as this section wraps up, come back for Oh Yes, because that's where I'm going to discuss. You ready? I believe the time has come to let go of old notions and unhealthy attitudes. Now that's an Oh Yes. Come on back to the O Spot on OMTimes Radio with me, Rachel Kenley.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Live with medium Lisa Phoenix, Mediumship Messages and Musings, explores mediumship and all things metaphysical. Lisa Phoenix invites you to reach above and beyond your everyday experiences, to explore new dimensions in the spirit world. She will do live readings to connect callers to their loved ones in spirit, shares engaging stories and teachings from her own personal experience, and will have intriguing conversations with other mediums, spiritual teachers, and healers to help you understand the metaphysical world so you can connect to these forces in your day-to-day life. Join your host on this magical and metaphysical journey into the world of spirit every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill, while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
The truth is, you can't change the world if you're broke. I know, I tried. Isn't it time you turned your life's calling into a profitable, freedom-based business? I'm Michelle Barr. Join me every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern for Sacred Success.
The cutting edge of conscious radio. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Scooby-Doo-Boo-Ba-Doo. Hi, and welcome back to the O-Spot. I'm trying to keep myself awake. Who am I? I'm Rachel Kenley. I'm your host here on the O-Spot. And this is our third section, which is our Oh Yes section. That time when we really look at what feels good, how to make it feel good, how to bring it more into our lives and be more aware of that. Sadly, the truth is we're more aware of that oh no stuff. So now I'm really going to try to focus more on that oh yes, because that's where our energy deserves to go. Energy flows where thoughts go, I believe is the law of attraction phrase. And so I want your thoughts to go to these incredible oh yes possibilities. So we're up to this third statement here in the Real Women Creed by Jen Phillips. And again, if you would like to receive this, email me at rachelkenley@gmail.com. Rachel, by the way, Rachel, Kenley, Kenley. I believe the time has come to let go of old notions and unhealthy attitudes. And I commit to re-examine what I've been told about beauty and dismiss, and I love this part, what insults my soul. Now, I started the hour talking about my frustration with my body and my weight. And the truth is my body and my weight frustrates me, but my health is very good. So I feel extraordinarily blessed and lucky about that. And so that is really, really important to me to remember, not to dismiss that just because, you know, my weight is somewhere else. That's just frustrating. And this is I think, very related to the one before it, where it talked about that your power and wisdom is at the center of your being. So once you can do that, you really can more easily let go of those old notions and unhealthy attitudes. And be willing to, you'll have more of the strength to, it says to commit to re-examine what I've been told about beauty and dismiss what insults my soul. So, you know, once you have that, oh, okay, my power and my core believes this, you know, this is the power and wisdom that comes with me, then you really can begin to let go of old notions and unhealthy attitudes, which is... that's a gift that keeps on giving to yourself. You know, when you really do know this and accept this and love this, love me, about yourself, you deserve it. So that's my first oh yes to you, is really just take that power and wisdom and let go of those old notions and start to hear the difference between what your soul accepts and what feels like an insult. You know the things that are right and wrong, and, you know, the difference between what you truly want. And I mean truly want, not what you think you want in the moment. And what is really right for you as opposed to what other people seem to think. So I really encourage you to do that. All right. So the next one, very much an oh yes, although it starts with a sort of an oh no phrase. I believe that negative thoughts and words compromise my well-being, and I commit to thinking and speaking positively about myself and others. So here we go back to that kind of thing that I had said about energy flows where thoughts go. So don't... your energy is going to be negative if your thoughts are negative. Yeah, it's so easy to say, so don't do it. But really, that's what's at the core of this, is noticing those things. Because when you think negative thoughts, you're going to feel the negative-y. I'm a writer. I can, make up words. You will feel that negative. You won't feel as good. You may be having a good day, and then all of a sudden you don't feel quite as good as you did a little while ago for some reason. That's why you've allowed negative thoughts into your head, into your mind, into your heart. You can't be feeling good and thinking negative thoughts. It doesn't work. They've proven it. It's physically, it's like trying to sneeze with your eyes open, which I know we've all tried, or I don't know why we open our mouths when we do the mascara thing, but you get what I mean. You know, you want the positive. You deserve the positive. So, you know, really think about the negative words. That it isn't just, they don't just change your thoughts and your emotions. They compromise your well-being. I mean, what a difference that is. I mean, you know, think about that, you know, negative thoughts can actually, to an extent, and will if they are too much a part of your life, they will make you ill. They will make you physically ill. This is not what we want. This is not what we need. This is not what we deserve. Pick a word. You know what I'm saying, and you know I'm right. And you know the difference in your life when you're thinking too many negative thoughts. You become a shit magnet. I mean, seriously, you just can't seem, you know, those times where there's people who are like, I can't get a break and everything, nothing ever goes my way. And you're like, you know, she's right. Nothing ever does seem to go her way. I wonder why not. Well, it's her thoughts that are doing that to her. Trust me. She is doing it to herself or he is doing it to himself. And what you really need is to help them make a shift to something positive as soon as humanly possible. They're not going to be able to jump to, you know, magnificent, radiant thoughts right away. It takes a while. That's just part of the world. You know, you can't suddenly be happy. It just doesn't work that way. But you can get to the next closest happy thought. I hope that makes sense. You just kind of move one step away from the shitstorm. You don't have to move miles. One step. One step happier, one step less angry, one step, you know, any of those things. One step away from those negative thoughts and words that are compromising your well-being. Or even, since the commitment is to commit to thinking and speaking positively about myself and others. So even just one day, one moment of thinking and speaking positively about yourself or others. If you're in a really shitty place, it's going to be easiest to be positive about others first, probably. That's my feeling. It's sort of like my gut instinct on that one. You know, that when you're in that really sucky, yucky, those rhyme, place, then what, and sometimes you can't say something good about yourself. You're just not there. It's not even in your potential vocabulary. So you need something else. And that can be saying something nice about someone else. That's a great thing. You know, and start there. Start the energy change with that. Slow and simple, nothing too radical, not planning to change the world or yourself overnight. It's not going to happen. You didn't get to the negative spot overnight. You're not going to get out of it overnight. That's the good news. That's the bad news. But slowly, you will start to uncompromise. Is that a word? Uncompromise? End compromise? Not compromise? Whatever. You know what I mean. It's like when my children are like, you didn't call my name. Oh, you know I was asking for you. Stop being so specific. Sorry. See? ADOS. Attention Deficit Shiny. So say something wonderful about somebody else. Say something wonderful about your pet if you're really just, feeling just like the whole human race can go just suck an egg. My husband comes home like that sometimes. Every driver is a shithead. Every corporation is out to get him or the world, or they're just out for themselves. I mean, it's just like one thing after another. And I find it really tough sometimes to be around him. Part of me just wants to smile and say, yes, dear. And another part of me just wants to say, snap out of it. This is, I don't like hearing it. I don't like being around it. And if this is the way you want to act and talk, I'm going somewhere else. So, I don't know. I haven't found a solution yet with him. I haven't found a good way to help him snap out of it and to help him feel a little bit better and to stop putting that negative energy, not only into the world, but like into me. It's he's sitting right next to me and saying this stuff, and I'm like, stop it. So, if you have a cure for this, please call 1-800. I have an idea. But it's hard, and it's hard if you're around people like this. So when that happens, you've got to go back. Remember, I'm going to go back up the Real Women Creed, okay? So if you are around people who have lots of negative words and thoughts, and you feel those things starting to compromise your well-being, go back up. Ready? So commit to dismissing what insults your soul. Believe in the source of your power and wisdom, that it's at the center of your being, and come from that place. Believe that within you lies an extraordinary radiance, and let your light loose in the world. So maybe that is my solution for when my husband's like this, is I just have to let him be where he is, but let my light loose. Let my light loose. I sound like a bad country western song. Don't I? Maybe a little bit. All right, let me look at my time here, baby. Oh my God, I got 15 seconds, not even, until my music comes in. Look at this, my internet's holding out, my voice is holding out. Now I'm going to start coughing because I said that. Come back, because remember, we got oh wow to go. 15 more minutes, people. Come back. Hear the oh wow. Hear about how we're going to bring this into the world for the rest of our week and live that more fully empowered, more fully femininely authentic lives here on the O Spot.
A conscious lifestyle for a mindful life. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Have you bought into the idea that you have to work hard for your money, that business is hard? I will share some dynamic access consciousness tools to get you out of your own way so you can create a business that actually succeeds. Join me, Simone Millisers, on The Joy of Business at 4 p.m. Mondays Eastern.
Are you trying to get from point A to point B and need a little advice? Connect with the counselors at OMTimes Advisors. Whether you're looking for a life coach or a spiritual intuitive, the advisors participating at advisors.omtimes.com were carefully chosen based on their gifts, skills, and professionalism. OMTimes Advisors, connecting you with the best advisors in the business.
Looking for inspiration?
Want to be inspired?
Not sure where to go?
Find Mark and Kim every Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on Inspired Living.
Topics will elevate consciousness and range from metaphysics to the human and social experience and all things spiritual.
Welcome to an inspired community that offers support, encouragement, and new ways of thinking. You are the inspired and the inspiration.
Your conscious lifestyle on steroids. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome back to our final section, our oh wow time here on the O Spot. I have to tell you, I have to make a little fun of my own radio station here. Come on. Are you trying to get from point A to point B? No, I am trying to get from point A to point Q, and I really don't want to have to go through all the steps of point B and C and D and E. Let's face it, we all want to just get where we're going. And the heck with, that messy process stuff, right? When there was a meme that went around on Facebook, something that said something to the effect of, when I started a diet, I expected to have worked completely, within X number of minutes or something like that. It was funny, I expect it to be instantaneous. I expect the results to be instantaneous, I think is what it said. And we all feel, so many of us feel that way. It's so true. It's so true. All right. So my last few minutes with you tonight, I'm going to discuss the Oh Wow, which is taking some of these things from the Real Woman Creed by Jan Phillips into your world. So I want you to take time to look at some of the things I've said. Which one of those really connected with you? Is it the within you lies an extraordinary radiance? Is it believing the source of your power and wisdom is at the center of your being? Do you believe the time has come for you to let go of old notions and unhealthy attitudes? And do you believe that negative thoughts and words have been compromising your well-being? So are you ready to commit to thinking and speaking positively about yourself and others? Because the one that comes after this really begins that oh wow process, that taking it out into the world process. I believe that young women are in need of positive role models, and I commit to being an example of authenticity and self-love. How would it feel? And I'm kind of asking myself this question even as I'm saying it out loud to you. How would it feel if in the morning you woke up and said, I commit to being an example of authenticity and self-love? How would it feel to start every day, or at least tomorrow, with those words? I commit to being an example of authenticity and self-love. I'm kind of sitting with this one myself right now. I commit to being an example of authenticity and self-love. I'm trying to kind of think in terms of, how would that change my day? How would that change, of course not who I am, but how I am in the world? I don't have as many women in my life. I mean, I do. I have some very special and wonderful female friends that I'm ridiculously and completely grateful for. But I'm also thinking in terms of, I don't have daughters, and I have one niece. I have lots of nephews, so my world is fairly male in that sense. But I know that we influence everyone we touch and see and speak. And I know, and I'm honored that my older son, as he's gotten to know more young women, and as they've all started to go through puberty, he's been really comfortable talking about me to them. And even with one of them, I've sort of put myself on her short list of, if your parents are really driving you crazy and you just need an adult to talk to, here's my number. How many of us actually had someone like that when we were younger? It was always mom you had to go to. And what if you weren't getting along with mom? Or what if your mom was an awful person? Because, not every mother's wonderful. Not all of us had wonderful mothers. Not all of us knew wonderful mothers. A lot of us are fearful of could we ever be one because of the women who raised us. I have several dear friends who were the products of some really wretched women, and I'm grateful that the wind was blowing very, very hard when these women blew off their family trees. You know, they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. These women flew very far from the tree. They're nothing like. And they've gotten through the traumas of that upbringing, and as such have a great deal to offer another generation of women who don't yet know or yet have that kind of strength. There's that cough. So I guess that is my big oh wow to you. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 more, I believe, on this creed, and I'll try to get to them next week because I think this is a great topic for us, a great focus, because it does really speak to what is or what we feel is or isn't working in our worlds and in our lives, and how we can. It's funny, I was going to say make a change, but the truth is how we can be the change. I know that sounds a little corny and, Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror-y, but it's true. You know it, I know it. It is true. So that's what I want for all of you, is the chance to commit to being an example of authenticity and self-love. Not even being an example, just commit to being it. Try it for a day, try it for an hour, try it for any length of time you can, and see what happens. I'll bet it'll be amazing. Oh my gosh, ladies, I'm losing it. I have like this tickle in my throat. It's probably the emotions of what I'm talking about here, because this is some big time stuff. I do this show and I bring the show to you and I hear from you because I believe in it and because I think that this stuff is vital. But tonight there's just something, I don't know, maybe it's the bar mitzvah coming up, maybe it's just where I am, maybe it's just reading this. I haven't read this from Jan in literally years, and I printed it out for something else and it was sitting on my desk. And I was planning on talking about something completely different tonight. I really was. I was talking about rites of passage. And this was sitting there, and I don't believe in accidents. And poof. It is the right thing to talk about with you. And it is a lot of what I'm feeling. And one of the things I've learned doing this show is that what I'm feeling, I'm not alone in, which is, oh my gosh. Can I tell you, if you're feeling this, if you're sitting there and listening to this alone, I cannot tell you what an amazing feeling it is when I hear from you and I learn that what I'm feeling, you're feeling, and that we are not just not alone, but we are so totally in this together. We are here with each other, for each other, in the ditches, in the trenches, side by side. It's amazing and wonderful. It's spectacular. So I hope that more and more of you do get in touch and let me know how this is going and feeling. I'm all tied in knots. That's why you're hearing some of the clicking too. I'm trying to click myself back and get it to another spot, but be an example of authenticity and self-love. There's almost no greater gift you could give to yourself or the world. And the world needs it. Deserves it, desires it. It's waiting for it. Sorry about the buzzing. Apparently somebody was waiting for me. That or my phone's dying. Sorry, it's one of the ways I keep track of the time. Which is coming to a close. I have 45 more seconds with you to tell you to be good to yourselves, to love yourselves, to listen to that voice that speaks to you in that sweetly, powerfully, maybe quiet, maybe loud, maybe it's been aching to be heard, maybe it's trying to scream, maybe it's whispering, but that voice that speaks to you in a feminine tone. That voice inside of you that no matter where you came from or what you've heard up till now, speaks to you with love. That's my oh wow. All right, listen for that beautiful voice. Let it radiate within you. And let it radiate out of you. I'm Rachel Kenley. I wish you a wonderful week, and I hope you're with me again next week here on the OSPA on OMTimes Radio. Good night.